Hey everyone, Adam here. I want to talk today about something that I don't see talked about a lot in the IT community, and that is, can I get a job in IT if I have a criminal record? I have a friend who went to jail for 7 months for trafficking hard drugs. And, he was in a lot of bad trouble in his life, around the wrong people and the wrong crowds. And now he's wanting to change his life. He hasn't started studying IT yet, but he wants to know if he if it's even worth it to study for IT. So he's asking like, you know, do I have any chance whatsoever? Because if I don't, then there's no point in me studying. So it's a good question. So I reached out to a bunch of hiring managers and recruiters who I have in my connection base. Now, I asked the same question to all of them. I said, "Hello, how are you? Hope you're doing well. I have a fan from YouTube wondering if they can get a job in IT with a criminal record." And then they all gave a response. So I'm going to read out those responses to you, and then we're going to evaluate the situation and tell you what it is you're dealing with if you've gone to jail for trafficking drugs or done some kind of criminal offense. So here we go. The first person who responded, I'm not going to include names here because I don't want to, I just don't want to go there. So, anyways, the first person is a hiring manager in Toronto, and specifically for system administrators and network administrators, IT stuff. So he said, "Hey Adam, how are you? That's a tough one. Really depends on the client or the company. From my experience, some companies, the small to mid-sized organizations, do not conduct a credit or criminal background check before offering employment. And larger, more formalized companies generally do conduct a criminal background check towards the end of the process before making an offer of employment. I would say that this is uncomfortable as it may be to someone. It is better to be upfront with the potential employer and let them know that this is what it is, so that you're not wasting their time, you're not wasting your own time, and it's just better to be upfront. And maybe you can even use it as a marketing point to say, hey, I'm just turning my life around, I'm really trying to stay out of trouble, and this is a good thing for me in the future. And, so it might look good even, maybe not, depends on who you're talking to. So that was recruiter one. Now, this is the other person. This is another recruiter in Toronto, or hiring manager. He says, "Hey Adam, doing great, hope you are too. 95% of companies we place IT professionals at require a criminal background check. So if people do have criminal backgrounds, it won't be impossible, but it would be hard to get a job." So here's number three. Number three is from my hiring manager in Calgary. So, little bit in Toronto, little bit in Calgary. So, we're going around the earth right now. So seeing how it is in other places. So they said, "Hey Adam, always good to hear from you. Most companies don't check that information when hiring. Some of the larger institutional type companies like banks or financial companies will ask for a background check and a credit check if the position deals with financial transactions. Recruiters should mention this requirement on the job description or on the first contact with the candidate, so it's not that big of a deal. Over time, they can get this removed from their record. Outside of that, I would be glad to look at their resume and see if there are any barriers in their content." So that's completely different. Like the other person said that 95% of companies do background checks, but this other person from Calgary said that most companies don't, unless if they're banks or dealing with large finances or something like that. So next, this is a friend of mine in Vancouver. She does hiring for IT, clouds, security, stuff like that. They said, "Hey Adam, generally the offense has to be related to the job for IT to prevent someone from being hired. For example, if you had a company, would you hire someone who committed a credit card fraud to work in finance? No. So, but if they were charged with a DUI, then you probably would hire them because that has nothing to do with the job. So in this instance, this is IT. So if the individual has conducted some kind of cybercrime, or hacked a bank or something, or done anything in the internet that was illegal, then that could be an issue. But since this is a drug trafficking charge and not cybercrime, then it might not even be an issue. So she said, I'd recommend the individual doing some more research on the topic and seeing what his best options are. And maybe even quick a employment lawyer, like call an employment lawyer to ask for more information. All right, so that's the other person. And now to my last one. This connection is in Edmonton. My Edmonton connection said around 60% of our clients require criminal background check, 40% don't. Depends on the company, and just tell them up front with the recruiter ahead of time. So if you're dealing with a recruiter who's connecting you with these clients, you should tell the recruiter so that the recruiter can look for clients that don't look for background checks. And that way, they can place you appropriately with the right clients. And, it is possible. It's just a bit more convoluted. So those are all the responses I've gotten from hiring managers, recruiters, and people who deal with a lot of people coming and going in IT. So to answer the question, if you have a criminal record in cybercrime, I hate to say it, but you're probably not going to get a job in IT. But if you have a criminal record in something else, like drug trafficking or a DUI charge, or maybe even like theft in a grocery store, or like maybe you got in a fight, any of these, like a domestic violence charge, anything that's like not related to IT, I think you should still be able to get a job. And it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but it's still possible. And it's not just a little bit possible, but still pretty possible. Like, you're judging by all these messages, only one of those hiring managers said that 90% go through background check. All the other hiring managers says that most companies don't do background checks. So it seems like you got quite a bit of options here. You got some chances. The most important thing is, if you're given a chance, make sure that you take that chance and you don't fuck up. You're given a chance. You got to pray. You got to embrace that chance. And no matter, even if the company ends up treating you like complete shit, even if you hate the job and the people are condescending, and even if you have every single last right to be mad and lash out, don't do it, because it's not going to help, man. I mean, the best thing that you can do is take the first opportunity that you can get, and from there, stay there for a year if you have to. Make sure you give in your 2 weeks notice. Make sure, because you need that reputation if you have a criminal record. You need to build a good reputation. Like someone who doesn't have a criminal record, they can kind of mess around. They can leave jobs and drop jobs without giving 2 weeks notices, because it's not too much of a hindrance for them, because they don't have another barrier already. So, but that's just all I want to talk about. I hope that this helps someone out there who's debating on getting into IT but doesn't know if they want to or not because they've been to jail. But so I hope this video helps. If you've been to jail and it wasn't for cybercrime, I would highly encourage you to start studying IT and to get into it, because it could change your life around. You make a lot more money in IT than you would selling drugs in the street, and you'll just have a better life, no more bullshit. You'll stay out of trouble, keep your nose clean, and turn your life around. So this is a good opportunity for you. And I hope this video has been informative, and I'd like to thank you for watching. And of course, as always, drop my LinkedIn in the description. Reach out to me at any time. I'm always happy to talk to people, always happy to guide people, mentor them. There's also a Discord channel down there. You can join it. There's like 200 people in there now. Everyone's from all different skill levels. Some people are just starting out brand new, so you can study with them. Other people in there are making $300,000 a year off IT in less than 5 years of experience. So we have a huge range of professionals on there. I'd highly recommend you to go on there and start communicating, start connecting if you're interested in a career in IT. That's all. Have a good night.